Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Minecraft Capture the Flag stream. I'm Bosque, and I'm joined here by my co-commentator.
Hi, I'm _Pi.
And we're here to bring you the match between Delta Force and Olympus for pretty high stakes, which will be the last of both of their matches in the group stage of this tournament. It's a pretty big deal because Delta Force, if they win, are going to be going through, actually, potentially in first place, into the next round. But if they lose, we're going to be looking at Olympus making it through in first place and Delta Force not making it through at all. So very high stakes game here. We've got our standard tournament match rules for the 12v12, which include the mandatory match rules, a limit of 1 ninja cap per map with no ghosting. We've got limits of 1 archer, 1 assassin, 1 mage, 1 necro, 1 pyro, and 1 scout, as well as limits of 2 chemists, 2 medics, 3 ninjas, and a maximum of 4 of other classes that would be otherwise unrestricted, such as heavy. Heavy here is actually going to be pretty important to that as well, because Delta Force is known to run a 3 heavy, 1 chemist, 1 medic, or potentially 3 heavy, 1 necro, 1 medic offense down through the lower tunnel and just try to brute force a capture here on this map. And it is their map pick, so they're obviously going for a tried and true strategy here. Now, if we look at Blue Spawn, we do have a little bit of a gathering around the Spartan 33 here, which is kind of terrifying, actually.
Oh no. Yeah, Olympus has all coordinated their skins to be like hazmat suits or something.
Yeah. Obviously very important in trying times such as these, but we at least have the coronavirus to thank for this recent bit of activity on the server and this tournament. In all seriousness, though, do make sure that you are taking precautions at home and outside of your home to ensure that you don't spread the disease and stay safe. With that, we're going into the start of the match here. We've got DF's offense going through top, but quickly, most likely, going to transition to lower. And then we're also going to see Olympus's offense, including 1 heavy, 1 medic, and 1 chemist, going over through the right tunnel here into red side of the map. Already, it looks like Winter's got a couple of pickoffs on the other team, and we are going to be seeing an archer matchup here between Winter and Pepe, with Pepe taking a more forward position right now. These archers aren't considered to be the absolute best archers in the tournament by many people, but perhaps they can surprise us today, and one or the other could show off a bit of dominance. Now, we do have our first steal here from Link. He's going to be going out lower. He is ahead of the recovery, but there is a pyro right behind him. He's on Soldier, and he's getting handed around by the Ninja right now, and the Frenzy does catch him. Mario's out on the other side, but goes down relatively quickly, and it doesn't look like there's a backup steal threat in Delta Force's flag room right now. Already plenty of fireworks going off, though, and Link did get pretty far across the map, so that could bode well for Delta Force. It is worth noting that with him on Soldier, they're not committing as heavily to pushing through lower with their team, and that could bode well, since getting a Soldier out onto the high ground is actually a pretty solid strategy on here, and very difficult to recover on.
Yeah, most people generally won't run defensive soldiers on here because most of the offense is just going to come from below.
Now, we are seeing DF... Go ahead.
Interesting to see Mega running Necro offense on this map. That doesn't seem like the best idea because the light roaming offense is not such a factor here. More of the bulk.
Well, Mario's out ahead of the recovery. He has revival tag, but that won't protect him. And the revival tag expires just before he dies. Snowbreak on the other side does have the flag and has survived for a little while already. Currently looking to be going out through the lower tunnel. He did briefly get support there from Pedro, and Pedro picks up the flag. Gams up to try and assassinate, but doesn't actually manage to kill anyone, and Pedro does eventually go down. So very close there, actually, for Delta Force to get some separation again, but not quite enough. And on the other side, Mario did get out pretty far as chemist, so both teams threatening, to be honest.
They're definitely getting out really quickly. You see Iceman's getting left in the flag room a lot, which is not what you want to see if you're Olympus.
Now, with that said, we are seeing the Necro here on offense from Mega to Sational, and he's being supported by the Medic the majority of the time, and the Medic in turn gets support from Revival Tag. Now, what we did see earlier, though, was he did put the Revival Tag on the flag holder, and in case that players and teams aren't aware of it yet, that does not protect you from dropping the flag. So I don't know if that's necessarily a better investment than giving the Revival Tag to a Medic, for instance, when you're out stealing.
Olympus is going to be pushing in. They have all three of their people, but no Medic. It's going to be very compact in that tunnel. Mega's going to get out. Is relatively clean.
He's got two chemists supporting him and is being stalled by Winter, but this looks like he's going to get pretty far with all the support that he does have. He's almost at mid already. Winter did go down because she tried to contest him in lower, and it looks like he may just run this all the way through lower and in it. On the other hand, though, Pedro is going out through the same route and will be running into their offense. Fight between flag holders is going on right now. Pedro does go down, though. On the other side, Mega is going to be sneaking through a little bit. He does have a medic there, but he's going up to the high ground, most likely to avoid all of the people in the tunnels. Is going to be stalled briefly by Ninja here, but it looks like he's going to get through to the flag room pretty quickly. Spades is trying to intercept, but one heavy alone is not going to be enough, and that's going to be a first capture for Team Olympus, putting them up 1-0 on this map, which is Delta Force's pick.
That is big, and it did show that they're able to essentially use the same strategy as Delta Force, just send a lot of bulk, get out.
Yeah, Olympus loves to play with a strategy of just completely overwhelming the enemy flag room, and you saw the Pyro got killed relatively quickly, and then Sensational goes straight out bottom.
This map does benefit Delta Force, obviously, which is why they picked it, but Olympus, yeah, very good on maps like these as well, because they have Carowinds, who's just a tank on defense, and Aussie on offense. They can just not get pushed around and just power through it.
We do have Pepe go down to Winter there, but generally speaking, Pepe's been taking a more forward position than his Archer counterpart, and that could actually bode well for Olympus in the long run. Generally speaking, if you're able to hold that little structure out by mid, it's a lot safer to play from than around the trees.
Saffron Stolen Soldier going up. Problem with Soldier on this map is that you can only go up. If you try to go down bottom, it doesn't work. So,
again, though, we do see Winter take out Pepe, and she may actually be getting the better of this duel. She's taking a more aggressive position right now.
Soldier out bottom isn't terrible. I mean,
and Snow breaks all the way across the map.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I apologize for not following the most pressing action, but we are now tied 1-1 here. And we're going to get another steal from Link. Doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. But already, both teams capped, and we have another brief steal from Participated before he goes down.
does look like Winter's getting better at this exchange. One interesting thing, yeah, there you see it. Delta Force almost always puts someone on the other Archer, and in this case, they're putting Link as Ninja.
Now, Pepe does take Archer back after Link decided to roam up instead of finishing the kill on Pepe. So there's going to be a brief window here where Olympus's offense can pretty much go through without being afraid of the Archer. We are going to see, though, that they're going to get split up. Wolves gets a kill on the Chemist, and not the whole. We're going to see a pretty disconnected push in here with just the one soldier actually making it to the flag room right now.
Yeah, there's a medic way up on the hill and a soldier with him.
Now, what's interesting here is that we do see a pretty heavy committal from Olympus to this strategy of getting soldiers in. There are two soldiers, actually, on this offense right now, as well as the medic. One medic, one soldier pushing into the flag room, but not looking to go very far. Link, on the other hand,
with the ninja and went down to the assassin.
With AP literature on the assassin. Showing some flexibility here.
That's an L.
Do have a quick steal here from Pedro. Doesn't look like he's going to get very far, but he does actually work his way past the other team using a damage potion to knock back the majority of the defense here, and he's gotten out pretty far. There are going to be ninjas getting in the way here, but already Link's roaming up to clear the space in front of him. Heavy getting in the way as well, but it looks like he's already got the medic, and this is a pretty safe steal from Pedro. The assassin is coming up pretty close right now, as well as a heavy, and the heavy is arguably more threatening to the chemist. Pedro does get knocked into the water here, and there's a real threat of it being headshotted now that Pepe is in position. Arrows just getting him. Spartan, however, picks it
Ooh.
up before going down. The unmarked archer ends up being lethal on what was looking like a very promising solo steal from our boy Pedro. So
Would have liked
very
to
good
see
chance
one
there from
more.
Delta Force, though. They are threatening.
Would like to see one more pushing up on the archer or one more supporting. Ideally both, really.
Archer Duel is picking back up here as Olympus's offense uses the opportunity to push into lower. Looks like they are going to get the majority of their team through here without being headshotted, which is exactly what Pepe is trying to accomplish by playing in that position. So we are going to see a push of 4 through lower here. Gamron gets 2 of them, though, coming up really big, and it does look like the offense from Olympus is going to be stymied. They do have a late ninja pushing up here who may actually just be going for the steal. A bit of an interesting decision here. Safran instead decides to go for the pyro and doesn't make anything out of it. It's definitely a difficult map for ninja offense. Now on the other side here, Cupcake has taken a bit of damage, but Cupcake and Spart will actually make it into lower and will be threatening the flag ram here. Cupcake has 2 stake and is now being pressured again by the ninja. Looks like Cupcake and Spartan are kind of caught in a pincer here. Cupcake does go down, and Spartan's only going to make it to the flag late. He does pick up instead of Snowbreak, which is going to stall Snowbreak a bit longer, but he does briefly manage to seal before going down. On the other side, we have a steal from Esso. Esso is going up as Chemist this time, not Ninja, and has made it out to mid, but not particularly clean. Should go down here to damage, although a medic is on the other side of the water and trying to make it across. We do also have AP Lit roaming up pretty far on Assassin, but does go down to DTJ before doing any damage. On the other side, we see Evan actually pushing up and playing right up next to Winter as Heavy. And that nearly gets Winter killed to Pepe. However, she does pick up the threat of the shots, doesn't, however, manage to get the kill as Pepe takes her out. On the other side of things here, we're going to see Pedro going in pretty much solo. There is a ninja on him, chasing him around here, which he should pick up on pretty quick. A lot of damage there, actually, from the ninja, and it looks like Pedro is going to be, well, had to burn some pots, but not health pots, apparently. On the other side of things, Spart baits, and Pedro gets a very nice steal here. However, he is getting knocked back. Doesn't look like he's going to make it out unharmed, but he is going to get up the stairs relatively far. Does take out the ninja behind him, and he is ahead of most of the recovery, but he doesn't have health pots right now. A ninja needs to make it to him pretty quick, or he needs to be able to pass. Link does get the pass, very tight window of timing, and he's up the wall. Now here, we see a very dangerous situation for Olympus because they, again, do not have a soldier here. So there's only one ninja roaming up to him here. They have to rely on Pepe to get a headshot, or else this may well be a capture here for Delta Force, allowing them to take the lead. There are heavies on the low ground, and they may eventually be able to get in front. Oh, and Pepe does get a shot. That's a medic with it now, and the medic is being caught by heavies here. However, she does play it a little bit slow, Cupcake does, and as a result is going to be able to pass after killing the ninja just in time, as she gets headshotted and Link gets headshotted in turn, but Spartan keeps going. He's been knocked into the water here, and again, that is dangerous when the other team has an archer roaming up. But looks like Spart is going to most likely make it to the flag. There's only ninjas ahead of him. Now Olympus has to try and attempt to steal here, but Gamron's getting in the way. The medic's already been assassinated, and Spartan picks up the lead for Delta Force.
It's a big play. I think kind of poorly played from both. Delta Force not pushing up on the archer, and Olympus not really taking advantage of it. But this is true. Once you get up there, it has to come down to the archer because they have no roving soldier or anything like that.
Yeah, and that's the disadvantage of a bulky defense. They're only running one ninja on this map, which does have the advantage of allowing them to block chokes a lot better than they would be able to with just the ninja, but it doesn't give them as much mobility, and mobility is always necessary to be able to follow up on archer headshots. So while Pepe was getting his shots there wasn't really anyone in good position to be able to pick them up, and that's how Delta Force was able to keep going and eventually get that capture despite the multiple headshots.
Seems to be a bit of a communication issue in the Olympus chat. Telling people to
yeah, Now, Delta Force has definitely been spending a lot of time practicing both in scrims against other teams and on public servers, so their coordination should be relatively strong here. Remains to be seen if Olympus will be better on their map pick, but right now Delta Force is looking like they're going to be slowly grinding this advantage out here on Valley of Ruin. Again, though, this is not the worst case scenario for Olympus because they are on Delta Force's map pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Olympus at all. They're very, very good in Bazaar. Yeah. Snowbreak going to get a steal and going to go down to Pyro.
We are going to see as well that Cupcake gets caught here by the Ninja. She's been taking a bit of damage, and she's going to respawn for that. Link is still roaming up at the same time, though, so there might be a little bit of a communication error between Link and the rest of the roaming here. On the other side of things, we are going to see Food Court actually make it down with 3 stakes, but immediately gets assassinated by Gamron. Gamron's been playing that corner very well and has caught a lot of players off guard. We do see one soldier in the Delta Force flag room. That's going to be Mega right now. He's been dropped quite low, though, and he's doesn't have a medic to come heal him. One last real steal is going to come here from Esso. Esso does get frenzied and taken out, but there was a brief window where it looked like he might have made it out.
And Iceman goes down in Olympus's flag room, so this is not a good sign.
With that said, there is a lot of pressure on Cupcake right now, and it doesn't look like the medic is going to be able to support Delta Force's offense here.
Pedro stole. He got stalled a lot, and the Pyro's now back.
Good
but
web
he
there
is
as
getting
well.
out now. He is ahead of everyone. No pots.
And next to no health, but he's still somehow alive. Does eventually go down, but no one in the flag room to capitalize on it. Snowbreak is roaming up his Ninja now as well, though. This is going to be a difficult task with the medic and the Pyro there, but the restore on the Pyro does mean he won't be able to get regen. Instead, though, Snowbreak attempts the Ninja steal and doesn't get anything out of it.
Personally, if I'm Olympus, I think one of the heavies should stay in the flag room a little more, because it seems like every time those big pushes come in, the other heavies are gone.
Now, again, we do see Pepe controlling a bit more space and playing more aggressively against Winter here. He's not necessarily winning the duels, but Olympus seem to have better control of that space around mid, and that could bode well for him.
Olympus
we do also see...
again.
Iceman went down again. Link punishing him. Snowbreak's going to get a good steal here. But he is cut off. Now with Pedro to support. Going to run right into Pyro. Still getting out regardless. But now no support on him.
Tunnel is a good decision here. There's only going to be one Ninja in front of him, and the majority of the team will be hitting him forward, not back. With that said, he does go down. All it did take was that one bit of Ninja damage. And we have, again, 4 more minutes for either team to capture on Valley of Ruin. Interesting play from AP Literature here. He's actually roamed up pretty far. Looks like he's going to be coming from behind the offense if he can pull it off. We do have a fairly big push coming in here from Olympus. They've got 3 people down into the low ground area. Wolves is stalling them pretty hard. 4th comes down through the off angle. Esso is trying to get out as Chemist, being hit around the flag room a bit and does go down. Just Mega and Food Court are left, and Food Court goes down as well. The off angle steal was a good idea, but Esso wasn't, unfortunately, able to make too much out of it.
Yeah.
Again, we see the Pyro go down. Link takes out Iceman again, and Snowbreak is out, going through lower. There's an assassin in front of him, but the assassin is already low health. Ninja in front as well, but Snowbreak, being a Necro, does generally win that matchup. Medic is there, and Snowbreak is out across mid. Pepe could be in range to headshot, but no, not going to happen. Winter controlling space very well over here. Snowbreak does make it through the area where he's at risk of being headshotted on the low ground. He's going to be heading into the flag room. No one in front of him, no one in position to steal, and that is going to be a 3-1 for Delta Force on Valley of Ruin. Winning their map pick, but giving up a capture.
Yeah, they absolutely had to win that map. If they want any chance. But they understand the stakes. They know what it's like. Olympus, I don't know, might not be taking it. They already did clinch. We might see Olympus make some subs here. I know they like to put on Ducks fan at this time. Several people are restarting actually for Olympus.
Yeah. So they are going to have a little bit of time to get it set up here. Looking at this next map, which is Olympus's pick, is going to be a bit interesting. We did see them pick this as well when they played against the Crusaders in their previous match. And one of our fine folks here, Sir Leo, might be able to even tell us a little more about that. Or maybe not.
But my team did scream Olympus. They like to run a majority soldier offense, and I think with Ducks fan and Aussie being the soldiers, and then Saffron chemist, food court medic, and then for defense they like to run a scout, which would normally be Obama. Not sure if he's here. And then two ninjas, which would be participated, or no, participated would play soldier. Two ninjas would be Slurp and Caro. And
Yeah.
Iceman on Pyro, Cyber on Medic. Cyber would be a soldier defense.
Now,
not sure where Sensational fits into this.
for
He might
those
get
less
subbed out.
familiar with this map, there are a few important areas to control around it. The top of spawn is usually an archer spot. Teams may dedicate another player to protecting their archer, but I don't believe either Delta Force or Olympus really take that into consideration too much. Both have been seen, however, using heavies or soldiers to try and contest the high ground and take away the threat of the archer when their team steals, or just when their team is pushing in on offense. If anything, Delta Force does preference sending the soldier in while their team is pushing in, whereas Olympus is a little more likely to send someone like Aussie up while their team steals to pressure the archer once the steal is actually taking place. You can argue the effectiveness of either option, but we'll probably be able to see which one's a little better this time around. Also important on here is how you handle the offense when it pushes through chokes. We did see the Crusaders try a roaming Pyro against Olympus, which had some success playing up against the chokes and trying to get more damage than it otherwise would into the bulky offense that Olympus was running. One weakness, though, of that composition is going to be playing it against mobility classes, which are more easily able to get around the Pyro and exploit the relatively weak flag room. Ninja Steals are a pretty strong option against that as well.
Both teams now ready. No subs made by either. As far as archers go, Pepe likes to sit back and just headshot flag. Winter likes to push up, be a little bit more aggressive. I've seen her playing even on the other building, not spawn.
Pepe is not afraid to roam up and play more aggressive either, though. And either team can headshot roaming recovery from top spawn as well if they move to the other side of the staircase. Now, we already see Spartan getting on Pepe. Carowinds is going to be peeling Spartan off, and Pepe does manage to stay alive with pretty good health. However, Delta Force is in numbers. Snowbreak going to get the steal as Elf, but gets webbed. The flag room medic paying off, and Cyber doing a pretty good job here. Link gets out, though, going high ground. The archer shots, while not headshotting him, are knocking him back, but he may actually be able to make it out here. However, big freeze from AP Literature, and the Pyro comes in frenzies. Second follow-up steal from Pedro. He's still in the flag area, though, and it doesn't look like he's going to be getting anywhere with that Chemist. The ninjas are low, as is the Pyro, but Iceman manages to get the kill on one heart.
He got webbed. That was a good web from Cyber holding back Pedro.
Yeah, Cyber's already shown a lot of promise here. Now, we do see Mega roaming up through the top, looking potentially to knock the archer out of the way, but Delta Force has plenty of peel there, knocking him around. The medic is also alive. Food Court taking a bit of damage here and gets knocked off. He's had to burn some steak, but he is still alive and still participating on the offense. It does look like we're seeing a lot of contests coming out from Olympus, trying to force Winter off of the high ground and control that space before going in. However, they only have one soldier left now. Now, it does look like Mega has gotten in behind most of the roaming defense. He is going one-on-one with the Pyro. Code doesn't manage to kill him, and he gets out a bit. Knocked forward as well by Gamron, not assassinated yet. However, he's taking a lot of health, and there isn't a medic in sight. The medic does manage to make
that was
it there.
a full restore.
And does get the full restores. Mega actually making it pretty far across the map, despite all of DF's roaming. He's made it up to the middle building here, and now he's going to be a lot safer. This is where things start to get advantageous towards Olympus, since it's closer to their spawn. Now, Mega is going to be rooting through the spawn, dangerous if there's a scout there, but otherwise relatively safe. He's going to be roaming forward here. We could see a potential attempt at a steal from Pedro. He does get the steal off. Does take a lot of damage to Frenzy, though, and he doesn't look like he's getting away. It's going to be an immediate first cap from Olympus, and although we do see a backup steal from Wolves, it's not going anywhere. And already Olympus is looking to claw back the lead they gave up on Valley of Ruin.
So already tied again, I think. Right?
Sorry?
It was 2-1 on the first map, I think. So it's tied.
3-1 on the first map,
3-1,
so
okay.
not tied yet. But we are going to be closing in on that if Olympus continues to be as effective on offense as they were there. A number of things did go wrong for Delta Force, and perhaps Mega should have died a lot sooner. But good timing overall from Olympus to make that work. Now we are going to see another steal here. Mario does manage to pick up the flag as Chemist, but he's already taken a lot of damage, and it goes down. Mega to Sational is still hanging around, and SO on Elf is trying to make it into the flag room as well. Both have taken a lot of damage, though. They're very split up, and I don't think this push is going anywhere.
I think where you see a difference between the defenses of Delta Force and Olympus is that there's no medic in there with Code Bastion for Delta Force. They're leaving him relatively alone, and he's getting pushed around. There you see it again. Sensational, able to push him back and get the steal.
Yeah, the Solo Pyro is very risky. Mega hasn't made it very far, though, and does go down to the mage damage. But definitely a flag room metagun here, while not always worth it for pure damage output, does help a lot with webs being very important around the flag room. We are actually seeing Spades heal up the defense here, but it looks like he's going to swap back onto Ninja and is going to be adding more damage instead of playing that medic role. We again do see Link try to contest Pepe, but again, plenty of peel with Evan occasionally roaming over to his archer to protect him and stop the soldier from getting any work done.
Yeah, and Rome is where Olympus is the best at. They're going to be running double ninjas.
I think the biggest difference, though, is there's a bit more disrupt overall in Olympus's defense composition. They do roam quite a bit, but part of the thing with their roaming is that they have the mage there, in addition to the medic in the flag room, to really slow down Delta Force and split them up. And being able to isolate the medic and isolate other weaker classes that rely on sustain from or peel from the rest of their team is a pretty big advantage.
Now Link has been pushing up as Ninja on offense, trying to go for the Ninja cap, not the Pyro. It is pretty good to Ninja cap on this map, but not been able to get it so far. They know he's coming now.
Interesting, though, that he's given up on pressuring Pepe. It means they're changing their strategy to adapt to the amount of peel that's going into the archer. We do see Mega get pretty far. He has a medic already, and he's going up towards the high ground. Now making it out towards middle. He's ahead of most of the recovery, and while he isn't being knocked forward all that much, he's made it to a pretty safe position overall. There is still plenty of recovery on him, though, and he is in danger, but he does get knocked forward into his medics. He's in a relatively dangerous spot in the flag room, being hit into the corner here. Probably not able to be restored right now with 0 stakes. But he's going to go high ground. Does get the restore eventually from Food Court after all of that pressure. That was actually surprisingly close from Delta Force to getting the recovery here, but he's now just going to be able to walk it into the flag and tie the game up. One more cap here from Olympus would put them in the lead overall going into our third map. Definitely,
This is a 4-cap map. They have a chance to really run up the score here.
yeah, definitely a stronger map from Olympus, definitely one they're more comfortable playing on. And already we see Cupcake get isolated here by Slurp. She does get the kill, but we are again looking at a depleted pool of stakes here. She is sitting at 2 stakes, no more.
I will note that a couple of minutes ago, Link was pushing up, killing the Pyro. He did manage to drop the Pyro like he did on the previous map. Difference is there's nobody there to take advantage. It's because the roaming is just pushing everyone back, preventing them from even getting to the flag group. Saffron going to get a steal. He's Elf.
He's quite low, but he might be able to make it to his medic here. Doesn't quite get there. But again, definitely showing the potential of mobility classes to just get out on their own on this map. Soldier and Elf are really strong here, and Chemist has its advantages as well. Now, Aussie is making it over towards the flag. Does manage to get picked up by Code Bastion, and despite him getting some damage in, it doesn't look like it's going to stick with the medic. Link's timing has been a little off on some of his pushes up. It is definitely hard to coordinate, but... Alright, we do have a steal from Spart. Looks like he drops it, though. Snowbreak is out as Elf. He's already very low health. Very low health indeed. And doesn't quite make it out. Dichi almost picks it up and runs it in, but... there is going to be an opportunity here at the flag again. Pedro does pick up the flag. The medic, however, gets frozen and isn't able to help him out. So, good attempt there, actually, from Delta Force, but doesn't quite work out. And good awareness as well that Snowbreak was able to pick up the backup steal, even if he was a little low. There are definitely some things Delta Force can adjust here. Maybe... make some improvements towards appealing for their medic, but they're definitely not playing poorly right now.
Seeing both teams now running Elves. It's not a traditionally strong class you want to pick if you're already getting pushed around by Roman, to be honest.
But one way that you can definitely take advantage of a roaming defense, especially if it is bulkier, is by playing so many capping classes that eventually one of them won't get picked up and could potentially get a one-on-one situation with the Pyro. If that class is an Elf, then there's actually a pretty good chance that the Elf just ignores the Pyro and gets out.
Link now going Necro, but that's a good choice against roaming. That'll allow him to pick up some heads on his way to the flag.
We're seeing Cupcake still get isolated a lot here by Olympus's roaming. It's not that she's not getting support from the rest of her team. It's more just that the support isn't enough. One player isn't enough to clear off 2 or 3 ninjas quick enough to prevent her from taking damage. Pedro does get a backup steal here after Spark goes down. Doesn't go very far, though. This is actually going to be a rough push here for Delta Force because Cupcake died late. Or hasn't quite died yet, but dies before the rest of the offense is able to make it over. Link does get boosted towards the flag, and he might be able to look for a pickup here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly good one without the medic there to support.
Oh, the Pyro just went down. DTJ with the drop. That's going to leave Spartan with the easy steal.
The medic is frozen on low ground, but Spart has gotten pretty far on his own. Cupcake is going to be there this time, knocked forward, and Spart does get the restore, so he may just get out this door here. Plenty of knockback helping Spart out here. Now, he's across the map towards mid. Pepe doesn't appear to be in a position where he can headshot right now, and Spart could just run this back. Again, if Delta Force caps here, then despite the fact that they are down in terms of the number of caps on this map, they will be taking the lead overall. Only 1 or 2 ninjas here to try and contest this, and yes, Delta Force picks up 1 more cap and takes back the overall lead. AP Lit roaming up on Assassin, but doesn't get anything done, and the attempted countersteal here from Olympus looks like it's going to fizzle.
That is good for Delta Force. If you're Delta Force, I think you're fine. If Olympus wins this map, you just want to keep it close. You want to keep
Big
it within
opportunity
half.
here from Olympus, though. They do have the water element down, and the Ninja and Soldier weren't picked up at all on high ground. Esso is going to be going for the first steal, but if Esso doesn't pick it up, Mega isn't in a position to follow up. He does get assassinated by Gamron, though, and neither works out. Pretty incredible that they were left alone up top, though. That could have been really disastrous for Delta Force. We do see a steal from Link here. He does manage to make it out of the flag room. Just the Pyro pressuring him, but this direct shot from the Pyro knocks him off the edge, and he's not able to wall climb back up. Spartan does get the follow-up steal here. He's taken a lot of damage, though. Doesn't look like he's going to make it out, despite a valiant attempt there from Delta Force's support. Very, very open game, though, right now. Either team could easily break out and steal. And they're going to do just that. Food Court going for the flag, steals, doesn't make it out. Mega gets the second steal and goes down to Frenzy. There is one elf left here, but Esso doesn't look to be going very far. Now on the other side, Pedro has a steal as Chemist. He's taken a lot of damage already, but does barely make it out of the flag area. Snowbreak gets webbed on his way out. So again, Cyber coming up clutch in the flag room, stopping the elf from getting out. But otherwise looked to have a good chance there.
Now the third map is Pagodas. I would say that's a pretty even map. Let's see why they agreed to it. I don't think roaming is good on this map. It is good on Pagodas, but not good to the extent it is on Bazaar. Bazaar is insane.
Food Court taking a lot of damage on the way here. Goes down. Olympus doesn't have their medic on this push. On the other hand, though, Esso is going to make it into the flag room, almost untouched before the Gamron assassinate. That's just going to leave Mega alone to die in the flag room. On the other side of things, we are seeing a bit of an attempt from Delta Force here. They're closing in on the flag. Link's there as Ninja to support, but doesn't look like the Pyro is under any real threat. We do see a steal from Pedro after he's already taken a lot of damage. Cupcake is there to support, but can't quite make it over. And we do see Pedro go down to Carowinds.
Strategy for Delta Force thing, it has to be just target the Pyro. That's it. It keeps going down.
So only 2 caps so far from Olympus on this map. Which is interesting. Actually...
Got 2 caps very quickly and then it kind of dried up. Not sure what's going wrong for them.
Definitely looks like Delta Force has adapted well. We have seen 1 or 2 scenarios where Olympus has actually been able to take over the high ground and set up for a push, but for the most part, they're not getting their medic in. Food Court's being pressured really hard.
Oh, they got a medic in the flag. Oh, well, they had a medic. Yeah, they have a medic. They have a medic with code now.
On the other side here, Pedro and Snowbreak are controlling the high ground briefly and knock Pepe off the map. However, they're just going to push up now that there's no one else left on offense. The Chemist gets knocked off, and Snowbreak's going to die in the flag room, probably to the Pyro. There's going to be a bit of a staggered entry here from Delta Force, though, as the rest of their offense moves up now. Doesn't look to be very coordinated right now, and Link may just well go down. May well just go down.
Yeah, if I was Delta Force, I would just regroup. Try to get back. I would not take this. I would take this next step very seriously.
There are times
this map would be huge for them.
There are times where it's definitely good to follow up and not fully
reset.
Oh,
that's a Ninja steal. Oh, but going to go down immediately. Was under too much pressure on the flag.
There are times when it's definitely good to not fully reset, but you have to have the defense committed in their own flag room and giving up the rest of the map to make that work. Otherwise, you just end up staggering in and feeding when you run into their roaming. Now, Gamron is doing a lot of work here on Assassins, still does manage to take out the offensive heavy. We are going to see Food Court sneaking in through the high ground, but gives his position away to Winter by webbing her off the edge. With that said, they are still going to get the chemist in, and Food Court is in close with enough stake to support. Doesn't make it out, though. As the Pyro gets the Frenzy off, the Necro goes down as well, and Food Court is just going to die, despite his best attempts. Aussie is up pressuring Winter right now, and her bow spam doesn't really appear to be doing all that much. However, Wolves is going to be up there alongside Gamron to get the Assassinate and clear the pressure off of Winter. And while getting to the flag and stealing is a pretty major objective, it is also important to remember that controlling high grounds and having space to stage from is a very important secondary objective on here. The teams that are able to do that more efficiently are going to be able to win this map. With that said, Spart gets out. He's low health, though, already, and though he wall climbs out of the flag room, he does go down to the roaming ninjas. We have only 3 minutes left on the map, and Mega does have a steal, hasn't died quite yet, and has made it out of the flag room. He is going far side. There is a lot of Delta Force roaming right on him, though, and he does go down.
Carowinds here as Ninja on offense for Olympus. Going to go after the Pyro, but going to go down. They got another Ninja, too. It's a Saffron.
Link tries to go after the Pyro and the Medic, but does get taken down by a headshot from Pepe in the flag room.
Jump by Could Bash and Whiting around the flag. It's not illegal as long as he leaves one side open, leaving the front open, which is the best side.
Snowbreak does have a steal here. It does go down, though. The pickup isn't immediate to allow a little more damage on Spart, who is getting trapped in the flag room here and does go down. 2 minutes left here, but Olympus definitely wants to get another cap before this map is over so they can tie things up and not go into the final map at a disadvantage. Again, we're seeing Wolves pretty much dedicated here to contesting anyone going after Winter, so Winter is able to headshot the flag room quite nicely. Eventually, though, Wolves does get knocked off and Esso gets a little more pressure. Esso does eventually respawn, though, as does Winter. So, job done from Wolves. On the other side, we do see Link get a steal. He does have a lot of other teammates in the flag room here. Spart's going to be able to pick it up, coming in late. He's taken a lot of damage, though, and does go down. Delta Force definitely getting people into the flag, but we are seeing a good job from Iceman on Pyro, picking things up and preventing the flag holders from getting too far away.
Just 1 minute left. I think Olympus has to be thinking about the Ninja steal. They're pushing them up. I saw him.
They better be.
Yeah,
there's a chance for maybe one more regular class to cap here, but it's going to be a very close call either way. You definitely want to focus more on the Ninja here and opening up the Pyro for him. Kodbashin, for his part, does seem to be very concerned about the Ninja steals here. We do have a steal from Link on the other side. He does drop the flag eventually, and Slurp is able to recover it. On the other side, we are going to see Esso potentially go for a steal here. Doesn't manage to hit the timing right, but we do eventually have a steal from Mega as Necro, and he's out towards mid, getting knocked forward a bit by the recovery. He is still relatively low and does not have a medic, though. DT is able to knock him back a little bit, but Food Court is closing in. Mega does get his restore, but there are only 20 seconds left, and he has to make it over fast. On the other side, though, Snowbreak does have a steal, and if they don't catch Snowbreak as well, then they're toast. He does die, though. The Pearl doesn't land close enough to a teammate, and it's recovered. Mega is in the flag room with 5 seconds left. Delta Force just needs to stall. 2, 1, and he does it. He does.
He did it.
He made it. He made it!
Oh my god.
In the last second! And we're all tied up going into our final map. What on earth? The capture literally happened at 0-0-0.
That's such a misplay from Delta Force. I think someone said in voice chat, like, okay, he's not going to get this. And they didn't pressure him. I think that was a pretty big misplay. All
it took was Snowbreak getting a pass to a teammate, or the team slowing Mega down by 1 more second, and he still runs it in. It was dangerous. It was dangerous as well from Delta Force to begin with because they were knocking him Mega forward at first, but they did do a pretty good job of stalling after that. Incredible play.
I just would have jumped off because Void and just held stake because Void.
He couldn't. He was a ninja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a ninja steal. He made it across the map, but there was a recovery ninja right there.
So now it's tied, which is it's okay. I think Delta Force definitely would have liked to been coming in up on this map.
Now, Delta Force has played this before against the Crusaders with, again, very high stakes. The map in the balance. This time, their tournament fate is in the balance. And they have to do better than their 3-2 loss to Crusaders last time they played this. We could see a massive, massive redemption arc here for Delta Force. But we could also see Olympus come out on top and establish their dominance as the best team in their conference.
And obviously the Crusaders watching this game intently. They want obviously cheering for Olympus.
Yeah. The fate of the Crusaders is in Olympus's hands, and Olympus do have plenty to play for on their own. But the stakes for Delta Force, as well as for TC, are so much higher. So, with 1 minute left, what are we looking at in terms of predictions for this last map? Does this go towards Delta Force? Does it go towards Olympus? Is it too close to call?
I'm honestly going to give the edge to Delta Force. If they keep pressuring the Pyro, that's going to work on this map. More so than Bazaar, because on this map you can actually get into the flag room if you want to.
Do we have a predicted score as well?
It's going to be close. I'm just going to say 3-2. Or
3-2 Delta Force from Pi. Any predictions from Leo?
No prediction. 2-1.
2-1 Olympus from Leo.
I think it's going to be faster than that, unless someone gets into a stalemate.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and give a 2-0 edge to Delta Force, but this really could go either way. So, we've got our last map here, potentially the last map of the tournament for Delta Force. A big map for either team, and we already see a lot of roaming from Delta Force, pushing up and trying to get unparticipated on Aussie. They're going down the right side through the trees, whereas the rest of their team is split off a bit further. Food Court so far hasn't been picked up here on the high ground and actually knocks Winter down to the low ground. So instead of the medic getting pressured, we're seeing the medic pressuring the other team. Looks like that's going to pay off a little bit as Winter, well, almost goes down, but survives on 2 hearts and kills the medic instead, 1v1. SO does get out, though, and gets headshotted by Winter again. Massive plays from Delta Force's Archer. On the other side of things, Spartan is out, is alive, but doesn't manage to last quite long enough to get across the map. So fireworks already, 1 minute in. We are seeing Delta Force regroup in their spawn. We are seeing Aussie roam up and pressure Wintergreen instead of Food Court this time. Probably a better decision. And we're seeing Mario as well roam up to support Aussie. Food Court's positioning is a little more unclear, though. Looks like he is actually on top of the other team's spawn. Mostly fine right now. Participated, on the other hand, does get a steal. He is still caught in the flag room right now. The medic isn't quite there yet. And
Not
therefore...
Saffron going to get a steal as Elf. He's taking his time getting out of the flag room, and he's not going to get out.
Aussie now has the last steal potentially here for this offensive push from Olympus, and he's getting out relatively far, but doesn't have support with him right away. Food Court is trying to roam up, but doesn't make it there in time. On the other side of things, though, Snowbreak does eventually go down to damage from the soldier. We do have a follow-up steal from Link.
That's a ninja.
Doesn't quite make it, though.
And he went down in the flag room. Wow.
Wow.
He should have passed it.
SO respawns, and it looks like Olympus is going to reset their offense. But we may just see this game continue to break down overall. Now, we are seeing Cupcake play here. Does get isolated here by Slurp from the rest of her team, taking a lot of damage, forced to burn Stake, but eventually Pedro is going to peel for his medic. Again, Carowinds getting on Snowbreak this time, and Cupcake is allowed to get closer to the flag room, but gets frozen off by AP Lit. This is going to be a quick finish on the medic here, most likely, while Pedro and Spark go for the flag. Cupcake, however, survives for just a little bit longer before going down. Pedro makes it up to the high ground, and it is a pass to Spart, the soldier. Spart is mostly on full health, but gets headshotted right away. Big shot from Pepe, and we are going to see the recovery there. Good attempt at a pass, though. If it wasn't for the Archer playing right in that position, we may well have seen a good steal from Delta Force. On the other side of things, Olympus is into the flag room. Asafran does briefly get a steal before going down, and Mega's going to make it in a little bit too late to really follow up. He is getting a lot of damage off, and Aussie is following him up. Does get the steal. The Pyro is down, but there isn't a lot of support for Aussie. Still, he's continuing to get kills because the Heavy is dealing so much damage. He's so low, but the medic is there. Does eventually go down. Big assassinate from Gamarin. But my goodness, Food Court was almost there in time to protect him. We do see a steal from Mario, but does go down to the soldier. On the other side of things, Snowbreak is out on top. He's a Heavy, so he will take some fall damage here somewhere. Does eventually go down to Slurp instead. Already a lot of action in this match. We're only 4 minutes in, and things could really go either way. So again, these teams are tied. It was 3-1 Delta Force on their first map, their pick, Valley of Ruin, and subsequently Olympus at the last minute managed to get a third cap to go up 3-1 on their map, which was bizarre. We do see Aussie get into the flag room here, but dies immediately to the Pyro. Doesn't really bait all that much damage away. However, Mega does get knocked in and briefly makes it out of the flag room before going down to the Pyro. Just SO is left on Elf, and SO is very low health, does die in the air. On the other side, we are seeing Aussie actually roam up onto some of the roaming defense from Delta Force and kill them in spawn before going down himself.
Iceman went down as Pyro once again. That's going to be key for Delta Force, if they can keep Iceman out of the flag by just killing him. There he goes again. He just went down again.
Just to clarify, if Olympus lose this map, they do not retain the top spot because they will be tied on maps with Delta Force, and Delta Force will have won the head-to-head.
Not sure what Olympus can do. He's quick dropping. They have a medic in there.
Now, Snowbreak is going up through mid. He's gotten pretty far. He is in headshot range. Pepe could get this shot here. Does get the shot. There is a ninja there, though, and instead, DTJ goes down to Slurp. Slurp, the hero, after the headshot, able to follow it up. Now remember, we are playing under tournament rules here, so there cannot be a tie in this match.
Yes, if there is a tie in this match, they will go to like a sudden death, and then whoever caps next, we could see a 4-3 on this, or no.
Big brawl going on in the Olympus flag room, but no one really manages to make it in and steal. On the other side of things, Participated has made it relatively far here. Medic is roaming up for him as well as Aussie on support, but he's in danger of being hit off the map. Instead, he gets frenzied just before he was going to be able to fall off the edge. That did open up Delta Force's flag room, though, and if there was someone there for a backup steal, then that could have been a very big opportunity. Now, we are going to see Cupcake take a lot of damage here from Slurp. Slurp is going to continue pressuring the medic here. There's no peel for her, and Delta Force is going to be at a disadvantage on this push. Definitely a very good job so far this match from the Mage and the Ninja pressuring Cupcake across the map. However, we do see Pedro make it out on top. He may be considering a pass, but no, there's too much pressure on him right now. Already taking a lot of damage, already knocked very low. No medic in sight quite yet. Cupcake is trying to cross the map, but most likely won't make it there.
Comes the Pyro. Oh, the Pyro. No, he's going to go down to pure damage.
And Cupcake makes it into the flag room just as Pedro dies. Now, on the other side of things here, we have Gamarin roaming up, trying to get on Esso. Doesn't manage to get the assassinate. Winter this time not being pressured, but gets killed by the archer from across the map. So Pepe contributing to his team's offense, even playing from a relatively far back position. We are going to see SO make it in the flag room here. There is water element on the flag, so the Frenzy gets wasted. However, SO is lasting a while in this flag room. The medic has been knocked away, eventually does go down, and SO's stall here may end up costing him. A lot of damage on the elf, and he does eventually go down. Also, just to clarify, SO's a guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know some of the players as well here, I'm afraid.
So 0-0 so far. No, he's not. 0-0 so.
Food
So
Court getting
far,
pressured here by DTJ. DTJ getting a lot of damage off. Food Court falling very low and almost gets 100-0'd by DTJ alone. Plenty of work being done by that ninja on TC. We are seeing more of the offense, however, from Olympus push up through high ground to avoid roaming defense. Now we do have a backup steal here after Spark goes down from Pedro. Pedro has made it far. Only 2 players on him. Just the ninja and the chemist right now. There's roaming
Ninja
here to
goes
support
down.
Pedro, but he gets
He's
knocked
support.
back. He's at
Gonna
risk
get the
of being
medic.
knocked off the edge. The Pyro's close. The Pyro is close. Could be looking for a Frenzy here. The Frenzy does go off and does eventually get the kill. They're not able to pull the Pyro away from the chemist here for quite long enough. On the other side of things, though, Participated does have a steal. He is actually going towards the far side, but
He's
doesn't
out,
quite
he's
make
dead.
it far enough. Really dangerous steals on both sides.
This is not how I expected it would go, and I thought it would be faster, and everyone's getting good steals. They're just
Mega's
not
out
getting
relatively clean. He's going the long way, though. He's going towards the other team's spawn, and there is already pressure there on the trees. It's going to be difficult for him to wall climb up, and that's why this route is dangerous. However, Food Court has almost made it over to Mega here. He's
Gonna
right
get
near the
knocked
edge. He does get knocked off, and Food Court isn't quite there in time. However, there is going to be a backup steal here. Participated, going to the flag room. Doesn't have a medic right on him, but does have that massive health pool that Chemist has to get across the map. He's almost at the yin-yang already, but there is plenty of roaming on him. Food Court's not going to be there in time, most likely, so he has to find his way past this roaming alone. Doesn't quite manage to do that. DTJ slowing Food Court down just long enough, and that is going to be the recovery. On the other side of things, we do have a steal from Pedro. Again, almost at the yin-yang here. He does have a bit of recovery on him, but he does have a negative as well. Does get the resource, and no more regen for Pedro right now, but he's back to full on health pots, and Chemist has a massive pool of health and regen. He's almost clear across the map here. AP Lit doing their best to stall Pedro. Slurp getting a lot of damage in on here. Does eventually go down, but Pedro was really under threat there for a moment.
Archer's in position. Archer almost got the headshot.
Steal
gonna
on
go
the other
down.
side. Mega's out pretty far, but is very low. Looking potentially for a pass, looking to stall for his medic. He has taken a lot of
Gonna
damage.
run into the
That
ninja.
may have been his last stake there. He's on 5 hearts, 5 hearts.
No stake.
The medic is behind him, though. Medics will be there,
Ooh.
and
Got the restart.
restored. Frenzy doesn't quite go off and kill him, so using the opportunity of Delta Force supporting their team. Wow. Mega does make it across the map, but nearly gets knocked off there. Very dangerous situation, and I think Mega's going to want to make it a little closer here to the rest of his team.
So a real stalemate here now. He's going to go down in the bottom of flag.
No, he's going to move up to the
No.
top of the flag room. Now,
Both
if
of
you
them-
were
both of them
watching
down.
our match against the Baguettes, you may have noticed that it is possible to headshot the flag holder through there. Now, Mega is shifting, which may make that a little more difficult, but that flag peeking over through the crevasse there is a telltale sign that that flag holder can be headshotted, even if he can't be headshotted from the other side.
If you were watching,
Mega just
Oh.
needs to move a little bit forward, and it'll become much easier for them to keep the archer off of him, because the archer then has to move into a position facing the side. Putting
Also in
yourself
that-
this far back here is very dangerous,
Yeah.
and we may see Winter try and headshot here.
in that position, my team has also been able to get a scout in there, and they just did. Olympus getting scouted, death tagged Pedro, but he got healed off immediately.
Now, in fairness, Delta Force is doing the same thing here. But the Archer is trying to shoot from around spawn instead of trying to shoot through the stairs. So either team here could take advantage of this. Aussie is in as heavy and is seeming to get a lot of damage off of Pedro. He needs to be careful here because Pedro could get dropped by the heavy alone. Does look like Aussie's going to get knocked away, but he did get a lot more damage off on that flag holder than they might have otherwise liked. The reason why that's the case is because Code looks to be roaming up. Now, he does get chased down by Slurp there, though, so will be interesting to see if he does go on recovery himself or if he's going to try and support his flag holder against bulky classes. Now, Pepe has made it over again to a potentially headshotable position. We do see Pedro moving around a little bit, which could put him more at risk from the Archer on the left side of the flag room, but does eventually get picked up. Delta Force definitely are no slouches about roaming out and killing the Archer. Code has made it close to the flag room here on very low health, though, and does get frozen.
Ooh, Mega
So
forced
he will
to quit
just
the
die.
flag room. He is death tagged. He has the
Yeah, death tag
heavy
out on
after him.
top. Does have 2 medics on him, but Spades is there as well, and the restore could actually be a death sentence in some of these situations for
Ooh.
Mega if the restore
He
happens
was-
too early.
He was low there, but I would have liked to see one more bulk and would have liked to see a couple soldiers instead of the heavy.
Again, shots coming relatively close from Pepe here.
One good thing is
But
that
he's
Delta
not-
Force is coordinating the recov. They're all
Yeah,
trying to
definitely.
go at the same time.
But at the same time, we are seeing individual players like Evan and Slurp assigned to Winter and Code to prevent them from really roaming up and getting close to Mega. So Olympus is definitely picking up their assignments as well.
We had a conversation about this in my team's Discord, and I think honestly Pyro Recov, I'd rather have the Pyro just stay with the flag carrier. It's Pyro Recov is too situational. You just jump away, especially for Sensational on Soldier.
Mega does briefly drop to 4 hearts there, but will eventually get healed back up. Delta Force is keeping a fair amount of pressure and forcing Olympus to stay honest, but it doesn't look like they're ever getting way too close to getting this recovery. On the other side of things, we are seeing Pedro doing his best to stay alive up in the flag room. They've assigned 2 medics to him, as well as a bunch of other support here. But
One thing-
you do have to wonder if putting this many people directly inside the flag room with Pedro is going to open them up a little bit too much to archers and scout swaps from the sides. The more people you have in the flag room, the less you're able to roam out and control high threat classes coming in.
One thing I'm interested in is if this lasts for the next 4 minutes 30 seconds, it's gonna go to sudden death. But if it never mind.
Big kill from Aussie, and that's the danger of roaming up with the Pyro. The heavy just gets in and gets the kill. And Mario's
Big-
out with a follow-up steal.
Big play from Olympus there. And that feels bad for Delta Force. They just wasted most of the map. They only have 4 minutes left to do something.
Wow. So with
Anyway,
4 minutes left, Delta Force is in desperation mode. They do actually manage to get Pedro out of the flag room here. He's going towards spawn, though, and that's going to be very difficult for him to be supported going that route. Still, he manages to turn the first corner. Doesn't look like his medic is going to be there, but he does get up to the high ground, so at the very least, the respawns become a little less threatening here. And he is out across mid. The medic is close. The medic does get there. No restore yet. No restore yet.
Got them.
Now it comes through. Big restore onto Pedro. He's halfway across the map. Archer and bulky classes are a primary threat to him now, but he's made it past the worst of the ninjas. On the other side, Mega has gone up top of the flag room. He has 3 sticks and a good amount of health here. He's pretty far out. Looks like he's going to get caught by Delta Force here, though. He ran right into them. On the other side of the thing, on the other side, though, Aussie gets Pedro again. The heavy coming up so clutch. Cameron does get the assassinate on Mega, but that last minute was effectively wasted for Delta Force, despite the big steal. Now, Mario does get out relatively far here. The medic is close, but so is the Pyro. Mario's taking a lot of damage. On 3 hearts does go down. We do see another follow-up steal from Esso.
That's
This
a ninja.
time getting out
That's
on
a
Ninja, going to mid, going towards spawn. Looks like they'll try for the pass, but DTJ gets in. DTJ gets in and manages to recover it between the medic with a Pearl.
2 minutes 30 seconds now for Delta Force. One thing they could ninja cap here. One thing I was interested in is if the stalemate continued until 0-0, it would obviously go to sudden death, but then would the flags reset or would the stalemate continue?
Now Food Court is out, not out very far on medic. Whew. On the other side, we do have Pedro steal again. He's getting out of the flag room consistently, but again, taking a lot of damage. The mage freezes a different player here, but Link is supporting him. A lot of damage. Cupcake is close. Cupcake goes down, though, and that's going to be a really big disadvantage here for Delta Force. Pedro is quite low. The medic may get back if they can stall a little bit longer, but no, Carowinds gets in and gets the kill.
2 minutes.
Again, Delta Force is getting so tantalizingly close to these captures, but they're running out of time. And it really does feel like Olympus is on the back foot a little bit here, but it doesn't matter if they're able to hold on for long enough. Pedro again gets into the flag room. This time, the Pyro does miss the shot. 2 chemists into the flag room now. Pedro gets out. He does take 1 hit of Frenzy, but he's still definitely very much alive. Medic is going to be close. He needs to watch out about getting knocked off the map, though. Pedro is running away from his medic. He's 1 heart. But the medic is close. Does go down. Esto on the other side.
1 minute.
With the steal.
Here comes the big push.
This is an elf.
Silver going to go down.
Esso does have a medic here. 5 stakes. Does get set on fire by the Frenzy, but the Frenzy is not able to finish Esso off. Knocked into a corner, this time by a heavy and a soldier, but Esso again has enough support here. 50 seconds left. If Esso can hold on to this, it is game, set, and match for Olympus. They just need to survive 40 seconds. Pedro does have a steal on the other side, but I think Olympus recognizes that holding onto this flag with Esso is of the utmost priority right now. Winter is in position as Archer. If for some reason Esso is able to get caught without shield up, Code is actually the closest player to Esso right now. Esso close to the edge. Esso close to being hit off. Not quite, though. And they survive that last bit of Delta Force's recovery. With 20 seconds left, this could just be game. Winter is trying to get the miracle headshot from high ground, but doesn't quite pull it off. And Esso may just sit this next 10 seconds out near spawn. What a crazy back and forth match. But in the end, It's going to be Olympus coming out on top, 1-0 on Pagodas, to advance and also to send TC through in second place. That's going to mean that your final standings in this group are Olympus in first, the Crusaders in second,
Delta Force in third.
Delta Force knocked out
Roxas
in third place, and Rox in fourth.
They have to be thinking about that last cap on Bazaar now. That was big.
It would have been going into overtime.
So as
No,
far as
it actually wouldn't have. It actually wouldn't have. Hold on. No, they would. Olympus would have just won on maps.
No, Olympus would have won on maps.
Yeah.
Still thinking about it though.
Yeah, I mean that was a rough game to lose from Delta Force. They came so close. They had so many opportunities to close it out, but in the end, Olympus just comes through and gets the win.
As far as MVPs,
I think we have to give it to Aussie personally on Olympus.
Aussie.
Yes. He was doing a very good job.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a very good job all around. He did have his clutch moment with that recovery on Pedro, as well as a couple other big ones throughout the match. And he was playing his role as a position player quite well, roaming up and getting in the way of a lot of Delta Force's defense.
I think for Delta Force, I would want to pick Link. Just constantly pushing on offense, getting good steals, killing the Pyro.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made for Winter as well. She had some very clutch moments, but I do think Link probably wins that out overall. Definitely want to give some credit to some of the other players on Delta Force, though. Gammon was getting a lot of value on Assassin. DTJ was making Food Court's life hell on Medic. And for Olympus as well, we were seeing a lot of value, especially on that last map from AP Literature on Mage. So all around, very well played game from both teams. And we'll be seeing Olympus and Crusaders in the subsequent rounds. Delta Force will be sent packing to await the next tournament, but definitely a very valiant effort from them here, and nothing to be embarrassed of.
Next week, the final maps of Group A, the Baguette versus Ad Fundum, and Citrix versus Annihilation. Baguette and Ad Fundum have already clinched spots, and this map will determine who's first and who's match will determine who's first and who's second. Annihilation and Citrix will also play for beer money or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We're probably just in it to bully Wolfie, to be honest.
So Olympus wins 1-3, 3-1, 1-0. Thank you for watching CTF Match Spotlight. We hope to be back next week with more matches.
Yeah, definitely a big one to look forward to in terms of determining seeding between Ad Fundum and the Baguettes. Both teams looking very strong, so be sure to tune into that. And expect Annihilation versus Citrix to be a good game.
It will.
Should
will
definitely
be
enjoyable.